Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Karateka. So let's hop in real quick and start a new game. So I looked at the achievements and basically there is an achievement for like beating the game with the main character, beating the game under 30 minutes, getting to the garden under 6 minutes, and taking no hits, and also um, um, and also also beating it with the monk and taking no damage whatsoever until you get to the boss. You don't have to take the boss out. Now, inherently, I think what happens here is it makes you actually gain strength from the first flower, so I guess that one doesn't count. Like that whole tutorial mission. So theoretically, what you're going to try and do here is this. Wait for the audio, the sitar ting, and just that is going to teach you. Notice that I'm only pushing X instead of Y because X is faster. Now, because you have this and even though I'm only pressing X, this is it's still doing fights, kicks during the special move. So this is like super easy. Now the music has changed. So slightly different music when that guy did a double attack, but we can kind of see that this is now it says to save up the chi when you should. Use that though is questionable, like for a lot of cases. Now the music is not really helping me as much, and I'm having to and it seems like that guy is the guy that's gonna fall over every time. See, if you do kicks, maybe the kicks are more powerful, but they seem to be fairly slower. So yeah, I'm down to like 2 bars at this point. And that stunning lets me take him out quite a bit. And see, the problem here Kick when the oh, you're supposed to kick when the bird is high? X when it is low. Interesting. So the cheap shots with the bird still are kind of an issue, and it's questionable whether or not you're going to be able to whether you're really going to be able to. What I'd really like to do is have the chi saved up for like I'd like to have the chi saved up for the eagle, but I know there's no achievement towards that. Now the music has changed quite a bit. Maybe I should be using the kicks more. So yeah, if we want to survive this, we've gotta take a refill if we want to defeat it. I'm not quite to the point where I think you can. I'm not to a point where I think you can actually do this perfectly, but also that's like the only motivating factor to want to play this anymore past that point is the fact that you might you might have that motivation to do it perfectly and get that final achievement. But I honestly don't think it's probably worth it. It's probably worth it to try and rush and just see how high a score you can get. But after that point, it's probably better to take your victory and you kind of have to be very good at wow, see, that guy is like super wimpy, and he was wimpy last time too. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. You see, that didn't quite fill me up fully. I have to kind of assume that there's just an overemphasis of there's just kind of this overemphasis of so you gotta not only block it, you've got to block it, and you've got to block it and have the right attack on the bird. I'm still pressing the B button, thinking the B works, and sometimes it feels like the B button works to collect the flowers when really it shouldn't. The audio on this is different, so you're in this situation where you are going to potentially like not have heard the music at all. So there's just kind of no way that you would have been able to survive or succeed anyway. And sometimes the music doesn't seem like it's really helping you, so it feels like it is fairly inconsistent. So we get another true love bonus to have made it this far. And see, I've got these combos locked in that pretty much set you up, have set me up. They've set me up in such a way that I don't really want to change my attacks. And see, I decided to stun that guy because that guy seemed to be doing a much higher, let's see. Did I miss a flower? I may have missed a flower there, which I might as well. I am not getting the timing right. Let me just look. And I just want to take that victory because I'm afraid I'm gonna lose otherwise. There we go. So if you do it right, you take no damage. If you do it wrong, you get hit. So I think I would suspect that I probably would have to struggle and play this game way more than I would like to. And see, it is possible that if somebody was just really good at rhythm, which I really don't have any rhythm, they might be able to beat this game on first try with the main guy that has way less health. And at that point they may never even see the different characters or the different moves. I could easily Let's go and stun this guy so that we can get rid of him. And you can see here we are at like 13 minutes in the game. See, this time I'm not gonna bow or anything. And let's just see if that changes anything. And see, they show you this so that you can see that the next battle is coming. And this guy is really tough all of a sudden. Sorry. It's 1, 2, and then a then they pause, and then he does stop at that point, and just does not really even force you to fight the whole way when you are the monk. Now, I don't know if the true love character would force you to fight more, or if the main character, the third character, would in fact prove to be better. So we'll just start. I'm about to get wrecked again. Let's just see if we can take him out completely from a stun attack. The dodges are problematic in that the system is random as to whether or not you you actually can succeed with a dodge or block versus another. It does also feel very much like there is this case of potential split pass, but how would you have split pass in a beat 'em up brawl game like this? And arguably, there is something slightly different between this and, say, an arcade River City Ransom style game where you would just be given ridiculous amounts of enemies to fight, and they'd all die in 4 or 5 hits with no strategy around them. This is, I suppose, trying to represent what a kung fu movie would be as best as you could. Well, take that cheap shot and then immediately refill. Now there's a trick here. So he wants you to hit him, but it doesn't really work because my timing's off. I think I have to go with kicks on this guy. And see how much he's just, how much life he just ran up. Like, but there is a way to cheat here, certainly. If you can simply not use if you can simply build up enough power. Like, I have 3 refills with the final guy for 3,000. And so if you can get your score high enough, and then kind of just rely on the safety of your final character. But see, I'm about to die, and then we're just gonna be back to the same ending. But 1, 2, 3. So yeah, unless I can find a flower, there, which there's a flower. Like, I am kind of in the exact same position I was in before. I've just done it a lot faster. And listening to music helped at the beginning, but I'm not sure how much it helps later on as it starts to speed up and as the timing gets more difficult. And see, I don't know if I should be trying to use any of my health now. And, or should I be trying to recover it? Let's just hope that we can get our stun bar back up, but I bet we can't. So we kind of would need a flower right now, which we did get. And see, if this was a roguelite, you would have upgraded your something at this point that would have let you potentially do a little bit more damage, have a little bit more different attacks, or even if it was just a rogue and there were some randomization effects. And see, the audio is getting crazier. And this is very much in line with what an old video game would all be about, would be just making the game extremely dangerous and difficult and 1, 2, 3. I don't have a stun, but if I can maybe get enough, just like use the stun now to save myself. We can see that there's a leaf behind him. And see, that audio just doesn't make any sound effects that I could recognize. And clearly they wanted to make a scenario here where you could at least beat the game, and so that is a nice idea for a modernization, but they failed to really add any new content that makes any sense at all. And blocking with this guy is super easy because clearly almost every slightly off-timed block still counts. And see, you would almost want to see a... I'm gonna save the stun. You'd almost want to see a scenario where you could randomize the game a lot by killing the first two characters to start with. Alright, so that was high up, I guess? I'm trying to listen to the audio to get the right thing. Alright, I do see it now. And then it goes like that. It kind of changes the audio as to where it's going to line up too. No, the audio I don't think tells you whether it's going to be high or low. You have to actually use your eyes. It is kind of oddly in an awkward way a combination of ears and eyes that the rest of the game is trying to make you kind of listen more with your ears. Even if you have this done perfectly, you're still not really being able to knock out any combos. And this still is just a screw you type of activity where it is like, I can't imagine a way to fix this other than just having it fly once and do one final cheap shot, and that's it. Like, that's the only way you can really fix this, or you have a head fake and it acts like it's about to attack you and it just flies away forever, and then maybe you leave it open to a scenario where did I not collect it? Oh. Yeah, you could leave it open to a sequel, certainly. You can't skip this cutscene. Which, it's weird, you can't skip the cutscene, but whatever. And again, this audio doesn't feel like it is really telling me when to block. Yeah, I almost had a full no damage victory there. Which, that should be incredibly difficult to pull off, and it doesn't seem like it really is. I'm gonna stun the guy with a smack, and you'd think that that would be like something special. Apparently, stunning him brought him into a third phase. Wouldn't it be crazy if the game just got more and more difficult each time? And apparently I got an evil victory that way? As an achievement? I don't know why that would have been, why I would have gotten an evil victory. Okay, so I did make it in less than 30 minutes. And so that got an achievement. What is that as far as my score, though? Puts me at a score of 16,684, with the suitor being the brute, and 2759. All of that seems very reasonable, but when you see some people with less than 10 minutes, and when you see people with a score of 123 million, you know these are cheating. Like, unless true love wins, just multiply your score by thousands upon thousands of points. It makes no sense at all. And so you can quickly see maybe a true love getting you to 42,000 and it multiplying that 16,000 by about by 3. I could see that idea. So, yeah. I hope I didn't pay too much for this game, because this really is a $2.50 game. I mean, I like the history, I like the polish and all of that, but I don't... let's see. I don't appreciate the setup here and the shortness of this. I really don't appreciate how you got this sitar, I believe that's a sitar, an Asian guitar, stringed instrument being plucked, and that gives you this false indication that you are going to end up so I'm just gonna let this guy beat me to death. That's what I want to see, is how far can we go with the third guy? Because we've seen how far we can go with the true love without just getting really good and getting really unlucky. In a lot of ways, games like these are the predecessors to like a Dark Souls type game, and there is a great reason why there is a large gap between a game like this and Demon Souls and Dark Souls to come out, and that most of that generation of people had already seen frustration games and had no interest in seeing more of them. But yeah, in part. Now, of course, Demon Souls is this big 3D world with RPG elements and bigger boss battles with a lot more animation and a lot more story. But the general idea of having to get really, really good at a very precise blocking and countering system is in this game as much as it is in Dark Souls. But when you compare the two, Dark Souls, way better game, way more modern. It's not even particularly that modern of a concept, but compared to Karateka, it's at least 2012 modern, whereas this is kind of the bare minimum to just remake something that was a bare minimum game. And it would be like trying to remake Flappy Bird at this point and just putting new graphics on it and nothing else. So starting at the beginning, let's see how far you can get with the final guy. Almost certainly you can get fairly far. I'm immediately seeing that there's like more perfect fights. All you're going to do in this scenario is also not potentially grab any of the flowers, and then yeah, I think you could probably get the achievement slightly easier if you did what I just did, going for achievement of not getting hit once. You could probably get a little bit faster of a scenario too. Now I need 3,000 points though to recover if I die, although that might be fairly easy to do also. There is no there is no penalty for using the chi moves. Clearly this guy hits harder and is easier to dodge. He is totally easy mode. What you would kind of expect to see is that he would move slower, but he actually moves fairly fast. But see, even that hit there didn't even matter because he has just this high toughness that lets you recover from that. Now, we've gotten away from the perfect victories, unfortunately, but so that too would probably take a struggle to try and get that achievement. Yeah, you're just not really likely as an average gamer to get all these achievements. Some of these are like expert level. It would take multiple hours, multiple attempts to pull off. And I just don't know if there's enough of a reason. There. And see, that's the tutorial one, so... And yeah, you do have to like press the B button fairly far back, and I'm not sure that actually you're not just required to take a hit in that instance. There's a lot of kung fu elements here that I'm not sure you'd recognize. Like, I recognize Drunken Master style. It looked like there might have been one fighting with like a scorpion style, if there is such a thing as a scorpion style. But that's about it. Like, I really wouldn't be able to recognize if each of these different characters were fighting a different style. Let's go ahead and take this guy out. You definitely aren't getting as much score, though. That is becoming blatantly obvious, is that you're getting about a third of the score, I think, that you would with the True Love character. But unless you got extra score for as long as you ran with the True Love character, and extra score with the at the end with a multiplier. And with this guy, we still are fairly far into the game, and it seems like one good attack would would potentially either take out the guy completely or put them in a very high chance of getting taken out in 2 attacks. So yeah, I can do the achievement for not getting the flowers and absorbing them. And see, this is another instance where we have to watch our hands more than the audio, because I'm not hearing an audio element that coordinates with that. But what's funny there is I triggered the stun and I was too far away to actually activate it, so I had to walk closer. Yeah, considerably less score. Some of these guys are totally just getting wrecked by the guy. And see, when it strings that sound effect, it's not like that sound effect, that strumming sound, was an accurate timing towards when to defend. It's simply just you heard a sound effect and then you have to equate that to a specific timing towards the blocking mechanics. And that is probably an example of something that couldn't really easily been expanded on. Yep, and all I'm trying to do right now is just maintain my health. And so the hawk in this run has only hit me once. And there was an example of the game changing it up on you and playing a 2-tone sound, then pausing, then playing another 2-tone sound to kind of trick you. So my health is a little low here. I'm going to go to the monk. So the first thing I should do is this. And then see if I can take him out and recover some health that way. Or I can just stand here and let my health kind of heal up, which it will do, interestingly enough. Wow, can you just stand and let your health recover? I don't think this guy is also really requiring gonna let me through. Nope, I have to straight up take him out this time. Interesting. So I have enough for 2 refills if necessary, but I'm not sure I need that. And the monk doesn't let the monk through. So you almost wonder if the monk is the only character that lets him through. If the true love character wouldn't be let through either. See, this was the guy that got knocked down a lot. So he is supposed to, I suppose, represent the idea of the determined fighter who won't give up. Which you don't see that too much in movie fights. The idea of a bad guy, non-hero, just getting knocked down and getting back up again. They usually are all very willing to either pretend like they're knocked out or be knocked out at the first sign of defeat or run away. But not so much in that case. So we've got 2 refills and a decent amount of health, particularly since everybody that we're fighting seems to one thing I feel like that you could definitely have done here is just give each of these people names. Like, make some of these bosses, make some people related to each other, give them names, give them characters, give them a profile. Maybe you don't have to go that extreme, but at least give them names. Like, that feels very Asian to announce yourself and let's see. Should I use the chi attack? Probably should have. But yeah. You certainly could have taken a modernization idea here. While it is not historically accurate that there would be Shogun era warrior females, that there is a way you could probably throw in some female characters one way or the other. Like, I know Mariko, Mariko is supposed to be your true love and all, but that isn't to say there couldn't be other, like, girls that were kidnapped that you would save, and then it could be a bit more of a hero's journey. And see, you would almost think that this would be the guy who would back down. If you were gonna have a single person that would back down for this guy. Let's see. May have been wise to use the stun there, but we may just use the stun here. That way we can potentially gain back some health. I mean, I am really just playing with like 2 pips. And see, one more fight and I would have 3 refills. Let's see, he's at like half health and I'm cycling between nearly full health and 1 pip down. And we'll just save this. We'll just save the chi attack. Timing is getting a little worse. Made it to the palace gate. See, at a certain point, this is almost like a rejection of the love of Mariko to not use the flowers. Yeah. You could definitely have, like, water carriers or just assistants. Just more characters in the background and on the side. Throw in some characters that you don't actually have to attack. That would be interesting. Almost a perfect victory there. And so what I want to do is take this guy out and build up the chi attack for the final guy. Gotta be careful here, I'm about to die. Interesting, he really did wreck me. There. Like, I guess if we just kind of wait here, can we refill our health? I'm about to take out that guy, and I just barely don't have enough for a chi attack against the final boss. Now, how many times do I have to hit it? Apparently, not as many times. Apparently, if you've been smacking it this whole time, its life would be lower. Although, I have to say, even if you had hit it like every single time, it doesn't seem like it is extremely low. It still seems like it is somewhere around 5 hearts. I hit the wrong button there. You are just getting cheap shotted though, like for every mistake. Like, you should be able to kind of recover from that. See, if I wait here, I don't think you recover health while you're waiting. And if you did, you're just going to be losing time anyways. We've got a new guy. Interesting. Where'd this guy come from? Did I move so fast? Like, what? We're at like 20 minutes. So maybe if you get here in less than 20 minutes, you have another enemy to fight. I'm having a hard time here. The timing seems slightly off. Let's just take this guy out. I hate to do it that way. Like, I swear we have not fought that guy before. And this guy's kind of a joke in some of his attacks. I think I want to just take him out of that mode and then go ahead and do this and then use that as the way to wreck him. I may not be able to get enough hits going forward, though, to bring up a chi attack a second time on a character. Actually, it did just fill up my chi attack, which is fine. I'll take that and put him at near death. And then one big punch. Boss defeated, and I did get another achievement for not using the any of the flowers. But I think that pretty much leaves it like that. There's not really anything more I think I could ever see on this game without trying really, really hard. Because I would have to, I could potentially kill off the true love hero, but and play the whole run with the monk, but that's not gonna really change too much, and the true love scenario just isn't going to happen without a lot of work. The animation style in this it's not an animation style you see very often. It's kind of rough, but as far as the characters art go, but I guess it's fine since it's only used on this one screen. Although if that had been the animation style throughout the entire game instead of the 3D cell shaded graphics, that would have been probably fairly annoying. So this time I got up to 4,407 with a score of 17,492. Yeah, but in less than 2 hours, and take note that this would have been a game made before the 2-hour no questions asked refund policy of Steam. I have done as much as I think I could ever do with Karateka, as far as what is reasonable and what is worth my time. I've gotten probably 6 out of 10 of the achievements, but there are definitely a couple of achievements that highlight you're not going to get them all. For instance, not taking a single hit of damage throughout the entire run, or at least until you get to the final boss fight, is unlikely. Getting even to the end as the true love character is not super likely to happen, so it's not really worth it. And when you know that Steam only highlights games that you get 100% of the achievements on, this is one of those games that is definitely in that other category where it is targeted and the achievements are designed. Almost all achievements are designed for Xbox or trophies equivalents for PlayStation, and the gamer score that you would get from Xbox for accomplishing achievements. Steam doesn't give you a gamer score for accomplishing achievements. It doesn't highlight games that you have collected some achievements in, but not all. It only cares if you've 100% of the achievement. And a significant number of games always have play this game perfectly, spend way too much time, spend way too much energy type achievements. And so the idea of an achievement then becoming a motivating factor to make you play more gets undercut because of the Steam system, which is fine, because if you want to play more, you should just play more, and if you enjoy the game, you should just play more. I don't think in this case, while I did enjoy my 2 hours in it, I don't think I would have any more fun, and I'd probably have a lot less fun if I tried to put another hour into it, or another. There's just really not any meat on this bone. Whereas I might be willing to play, say, a River City Ransom style game multiple times to get a higher score, or a beat 'em up game or a fighting game. I also have to highlight that once again, I feel like this game is super easy. Like, as somebody who's practically tone deaf, I shouldn't be able to recognize the tone notes and the hints that well for most of the characters. As someone who is not that good of a fighter game player and hasn't really played any fighting games ever in their life, I shouldn't be able to succeed so well in something that's simulating fighting. Although maybe others would argue I didn't actually succeed that well. I don't feel like I should have been able to beat the game and succeed at all. That would be the only other thing I would even want to see here, is what would happen if I just said no to the revive, and I don't think you even can do that. So I would have to start the game again, let everybody die, and I mean, yeah, let's try that. Let's end on an odd note here. Let's see what happens to get to a game over screen. I wish you could I wish you could skip these tutorials. And yeah, it would have made a lot of sense for there to be just more humans around. People in the background, people running away for their lives. See, and you do have to collect that flower and start that cutscene. For the 3D CG graphics, it's not bad for 2012. Yeah, I mean, these still look, these models look better than half of the low effort Chinese games, or the low quality Chinese games that come out these days. There just needed to be a better thought. Maybe throw in weapons? Maybe throw in more armor? Branching paths would make a lot of sense. So what our goal here is just to get 0 points and then let the very first character kill us. Which might take a while, actually. There's no way to really walk into a punch and take more damage. See, as you can see, the health is regenerating for you when you just stand around in the fight mode. So the game itself has to decide to attack you fairly quickly, otherwise it could potentially put itself in a scenario where I just take my hand off the controller, I recover one whole health and a little bit more, and then they attack and do 1 health, and I'm getting more health than I'm losing, and so it would just go on forever. And I wouldn't be surprised if there actually is a scenario out there where one of the characters that's particularly weak does that. And so you could certainly expand on this idea. Instead of just having you climb a mountain and fighting a warlord's castle, they could instead have you run from village to village, and there could be different villages of different animations. That'd be a lot more animation, and probably not really worth doing that much animation. But then if you go to different villages, or if you just have a break in the middle, you could buy health ups, power ups, items to use. at the core of it, Super Mario Brothers, you're running to the right of the screen and you're jumping on enemies or jumping over enemies. But there are power-ups in blocks, and there are changes in scenery from level to level. I don't think this guy heals much faster. No, he kind of does. He has a delay to heal, but when he does heal, he heals about half a heart before to start with. I don't like the triangles as a life meter anyways. I think it would be more logical for those to just be hearts. I don't know if they're in the right place in the lower in the lower part of the screen. Can this guy just not be killed? See, yeah, I think you would just have hearts. So here's you're never going to probably see this bad ending to the game. The end, Mariko's 3 suitors fought bravely, but Akuma and his minions won today, summoned the strength of a Karateka, accepting death as a possibility, and set forth once more to save Mariko from her awful fate. And then, okay, no achievement for getting the bad ending, which frankly there should be, for as easy as this game is. Well, yeah, I think if you look at some of the other ninja games where they're 2D and platforming and there's stealth, and compare the depth and complexity of some of those games that are on Steam to this, that would have been another way artistically and just thematically to expand this idea. Not that this game should be a stealth game. Maybe you could throw in some stealth elements and have some enemies that you could sneak around, but yeah, there's a massive lack of depth for the remake of this game, whereas that's where you would have wanted to take this if you were going to make a remake of this game. It's not just improve the graphics and slightly improve the gameplay physics. I imagine this game is way easier to play than the original Apple II game, but like you needed to take that concept to the next level and bring it to modern time. And there is that risk certainly with a lot of other games as they're being remade. System Shock as a remake potentially could turn out to be very short and very easy and very boring by modern standards. And I think there were a lot more System Shock fans than there were Karateka fans. So this would have been a great game to experiment on adding more concept. Honestly, it would have made so much sense for this to transition to also the Prince of Persia concept, which was his next game that the creator made. So maybe you mix it where it's the Karateka fighting mechanic, and then you have some platforming and mechanics too of Prince of Persia. That would still work very much. Or maybe you have even a bundle and just sell 2 remakes at the same time. Although if you were going to remake the original Prince of Persia, then you have to compare it to Sands in Time and so many other of the Prince of Persia remakes, and it almost certainly would not compare favorably to that. And almost certainly this creator does not have the rights to Prince of Persia. He must have sold it or never owned it in the first place. Anyways, that's going to be it for this series. Just a short little 2-episode series. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend to follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and get me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.